welcome back. It's lovely to see you again. This is part 2 of making my landscape based on my downstairs toilet painting that was on my wall that I did some years ago. Just as a reminder, I'll put the photo in here. This is how far I got last time, so sit back and enjoy the completion of this piece. Right, I'm doing the tree trunks. I've done one already, if you can see it here. What I'm doing is I'm getting some yarn and I'm wetting it, and I'm sort of splitting it a little bit to make the sort of branches going up. So I'm kind of like creating little mini branches. Now I've set the sewing machine to have a movement, a zigzag movement. Clearly it's still on free motion embroidery, but you could just do this with your regular, you know, as if it's not free motion. You could do all sorts of nice hand stitching as well. So all I'm doing is just sewing down, couching that stitch down. So now couch the 3 trunks on. I'm not too worried about the bottom part. You know, normally I would spray them out and do like root effect here, but because I'm going to have sort of grass and oxeye daisies there, it's not necessary. I'm next going to stitch around the house. Now I've got a brown in there, but it's the wrong brown. I don't want to use black. So actually what I might do is use that brown on the roof. So I will use the brown on the roof. Oh, it's in a zigzag. Back to straight stitch. Just putting some texture on the roof. It looks like it's either thatched or tiled. I think I have that in the original picture. I think I had a window somewhere. Yeah, I had some windows just here. And another set of windows just here. And then what I might do, come down the side of the chimney and then come up. I'll do quite a bit on this edge because that's like the roof on the other side. And some textures on this roof, and again I'm going to come down this side quite a bit. A little window just here, a side window. Tidy that up. and hopefully you get an idea of how that house is developing and the trees are developing. As I said, I've got some trimming up to do. I'm going to put some machine stitching in here. I need to really, I think, sew down that, sew this edge down better. So I'm going to use this thread. I'm going to use this one. I'm just doing jaggedy, sort of straight but jaggedy, because at the end of the day it's rough grass in this area. I'm just doing small movements, just there. I'm going to come down. And do some stronger movements here. What I could do in this area is actually, again, convert it back to a width movement, so I've got a bit of a zigzag, and if I do it at an angle, you'll see what happens. It will actually do quite a nice thick stitch. And hopefully you can see it's giving me, I don't know if you can see that, so it'll give me some quite thick looking grasses. Right, I've got a fairly empty bobbin and I'm just winding on a thicker yarn, and this is like a knitting yarn. You can use a crochet yarn, you can use a perlé, and you can see I'm just winding that on. Once I feel I've got enough on there, I can cut that off. I will say to you, you are better off using an empty bobbin, because I know that if it's not empty, it will end up feeding the next thread through. And then I'm going to pop it in to the bobbin holder, but I'm not putting it under the tension disc, so it's not under any tension. So I've got a matching top thread, and I'm just going to lower that down to pick up that bobbin. As I say, it's not in the tension here. That's important. Both the threads need to be underneath the embroidery foot. If you've got an open toe, it's easier, but I've got a closed toe. There's different types of embroidery feet out there. This is just one I prefer. And then I'm going to actually work on the back. I've already done some of it here because I did it and then realised it wasn't recording, and then I need to finish off anyway, so I'm just going to finish off where I left off. Just wiggling all my way along. I'm just going to make sure I've got some slightly longer bits up here. There you go, you can see. Oh, hopefully you can see the nice textures that's given me. Now that's given me particular type of, it depends on what sort of yarn you put in your bobbin as to what sort of textures you're going to get. This is quite a bobbly thread, so I've got quite a bobbly texture. I have found the rayons give the best effect. Really what needs happening now is I need to hand stitch into this, so I shall do that next. I've got a variety of different I've got some hand dyed perlé, I've got some pearl crown rayon. I've basically got all sorts of threads here. I've got a whole box of different threads, and I've picked out this particular one because I love these. Unfortunately, it's quite gutting that I was just looking the other day for the supplier of these. It used to be a company in London, and I think they used to get it in from India. And this is a 6-stranded, I think it's a rayon, but it's got a metallic thread going through every single piece as you pull it off, and I'm actually quite gutted that I can't source it any longer. So anyway, I've got this, whilst I've still got it, I'm going to use it. Right, so I could do some kind of like herringbone or feather stitch, which is I've come up, I'm coming to one side, and then I'm coming back down as if it's part of the stalk. And then I just do that, and I can then do the other side, so I would have to turn it a little bit. And I'd come in from this side. I'm coming from this side all the time, making my way down. There, like that. I'm hoping you can see. I'll just show you that feather stitch again. So I'll come up, go from one side, come down, go the other side, come down. Make sure you're always going in the direction in which you want the plant to be growing. So in this case, I'm going down to down to the ground. Probably get one more out of this length. And hopefully you can see that growing. Go to the back, and I can knock that off. So I should do some more bits like that in here, and then I should start to put some daisies in. Right, so I'm going to do some more of that in a minute, but what I'm going to do I'm going to build that up, but I'm just going to put a few daisies in so you get an idea of how that will build up. So I might start off with 2 strands of a 6-stranded thread. So in the distance, because I'm going to have these daisies will be scattered amongst the field, so I would have some in the distance. The ones in the distance I would do as French knots, so I would just be 1, 2. Further away they are, the smaller the dot, like that. And then as I get a bit closer, that might be a bit bigger. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. And I might not pull it quite as tight, so the more you pull this cord, the tighter it will be, but I might want it loose. It's come up quite tight there, but like that. And I might stagger them so they've got a nice little cluster going on, so they're not too neat. You do need to make them as random as possible. And then I'm also going to start now doing some daisies, which are actual daisies. So I might just do little petals like that, which is a simple a little daisy chain. So you come up, form a loop, go back down where you came up, and then you come up, and then you've got the loop. And you take that back down like that. So I've already got a little daisy which is looking upwards at this moment in time. Put another little daisy in there, little petal in there like that, little daisy chain. It's not a chain, it's just a single daisy stitch. Go back down, and I could then put a stalk in. And then if I want the full flower in, so we've got quite a big flower going on, I might put it here. I might do it like a big open flower this time. One. Two. Right. I could just do like a little yellow knot to make it look like it's again a daisy. Actually, I'm quite tempted to leave that one thin like there and then put a little yellow dot. Or I might put another petal in. Decisions. Those petals I actually might make a bit smaller, as if it's bending away. That makes sense. Another one in. Just so you could put in as many of these little petals as you like. It's like that. So you've got like a full daisy, closed daisy, and then I'm going to do an open daisy. I'm going to scatter this with daisy and dots and stitching, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm finished. On the daisies now, I've actually started to do the centres. So I've just got some yellow, two strands of yellow, and I'm just doing a very simple French knot and taking it back down. You'll see like this one here, that one's like an open, you can't see the centre. The daisy's tipped over, so I'm going to miss that one, but come to this one. This one's open. So I'll do that one. 1, 2, 3. Take it down. Again, this one is looking up, so I can't see the centre, but this one I can. And I'm just going to work my way across all these little daisies until they've all got the centres, if they need it, in. Okay. Right, there's the embroidery now finished. I'm really quite pleased with it. It just needs framing, really. I'm going to show you, I'm just going to zoom in on those daisies so you can see the detail there. There's some metallic, I don't know if you can make that out. This has got like a metallic thread in it. This is where I did the sort of herringbone or feather stitch. So I don't know if you can see, there's also some little tiny machine stitching in amongst there. So if I come out for you, there we go. You can see how that's been slowly built up. So really, with any landscape, start with the sky, and then start with the background, then start with the middle ground, and then finish with the foreground. Anyway, I hope that's given you some ideas. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye bye for now.